I'm not going home a loser. We're going to beat this mine.
You were obviously a huge part of Gold Rush. Now you have your own show. Do you feel like now that it's your show with your name and your family, is there more pressure to succeed?
I think there is, as you stick your name on things, there's more pressure to succeed. But, because I created that whole Gold Rush show and the brand, and so it's like, it became such a big worldwide phenomenon. Now, the me coming in with a smaller show with our name and our family, we're basically at square one. So we have to build up. We have to build up the brand awareness, and like even the DVRs aren't set. So if you are a fan out there, you need to set your DVRs and really get the word out to keep these kind of awesome type shows on the air. So it's tough to start over and try to get awareness worldwide that we're out there. A lot of people go, man, I miss you on the show. And it's like, they don't realize like, hey, I got my own hour and we're mining, and it's, in my opinion, it's better than Gold Rush because it kind of goes back to it goes back to some of the things, the elements from season one that people fell in love with, I think are kind of there.
When I watch shows like this, it makes me want to get out there and look for gold. How dangerous is gold mining really? What are the biggest obstacles that you guys face?
We go through what's called MSHA training, and you have to go through these training classes because when you're running with big equipment, even our camera crew, everybody goes through the same training because they need to know where to stand and where not to stand. Communication is a big deal because you can roll back, you can just drive right over somebody. And so it can be really dangerous. Years ago, a sound guy, Dave Turn, almost backed over him in a dozer. He was not listening, not in the right place, just did everything wrong. And praise God, nobody got hurt. Nobody's ever gotten hurt. And, but we got to take it slow and you got to be careful. But with big, heavy equipment, you can die. And so that's why there is that training. That's why, we have our safety meetings, and I try to stress it. I mean, I can't stress it enough because if somebody didn't come home at the, I don't know, it'd be hard to live with myself, really.
This season, I've seen that your goal is to mine 1,000 ounces.
Right.
Doesn't seem like a lot until you look it up and do the math. And 1,000 ounces right now is like what, a little under $2 million.
Yeah.
My question to you
you're
is,
trying to get $2 million. I got a lot of equipment. I got a big lease. I can't afford to buy. And then you have your fuel, your labor, all the other things that go into it. Just parts and feeding people. You have to have a cook. You have to, just driving to town. I mean, it's just like everything. Right when I get there, just bleeding money. And so you're trying to, just to get your foot in the door is 600, 700, 800 ounces. If you can get to 1,000, then that's kind of the threshold of being a hobbyist and a commercial miner. And then once you've hit 1,000, then you can kind of eke your way up from there and try to get into that, 3, 4, 5,000 ounce seasons. Hopefully you can double every year, as you go along, but it just depends. There's so many things, flooding and just breakdowns. I mean, our dozer motor blew up, like about a month ago, and it was heart-wrenching because, now you got to rebuild a V12 dozer motor. Luckily, I have great guys with great skills, and they're able to do these things, and I don't even know. I mean, it would have cost $100,000 to get somebody out there to rebuild that, maybe more, maybe $125,000. So yeah, so that's kind of what you're dealing with. And so it's not for the faint of heart. You got to be able to handle big blows and then attitudes and just everything that comes with it. It's like, it's real life. You're seeing my son kind of really be negative and kind of attack me and things. And it's like to deal with that properly, I want to like lash back at him, but to let him get it out, to let him see himself do this on camera this year, watching this happen, you know, he's watching it and he's like, okay, you know, you know, it's pretty negative, right? But then you don't give up on your kids. You try to let them run, let them make mistakes, but then support them and really support them when you think that they're doing positive things. And so the parenting thing is the hardest. It's not any of this other stuff. It's your relationships with out at the mine. Because if you don't have a good team atmosphere, you know, then you're just an employee. These guys are my friends and family. They're not like Parker or Tony. They just hire people. They don't care about them. It's not really a close thing, you know. Fire another guy, get another guy in there but that's not us. That's not how I do it. I'm not here just to have a guy sitting there. I actually eat dinner with them. We actually talk about their problems, and I actually try to help them with their marriages or whatever it is. Like, that's a different way to gold mine, and that's why we've always been seen differently, and that's why I think they brought us back to give us our own hour, because we're putting some reality into relationships on camera, which is not easy. It's definitely not easy for me, because you know, you're basically hanging your dirty laundry out for everybody to see, and that's not always easy. You know, you have to have a strong constitution when you're doing stuff like this, you know? That makes sense?
It absolutely makes sense. I mean, you're putting your family out there, almost all of them. I was going to ask about Hunter because I literally just watched him kind of tell you guys about yourselves. And I know that, you know, him being out there and new-ish to this, you're letting him kind of figure it out. Do you think that when you're ready to hang it all up, is he going to be the one to take your spot?
Whether he does or not, it doesn't much matter is what he does, as long as, like, you know, I can text him and tell him I love him, and he texts me, and I don't care what he does. I don't care if he's a garbage man. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's not so much what we do, right? At the end of the day, like, I'm 54, and it feels like I just graduated from high school, right? But I'm 54 years old. I don't know how many years I have left. And at the end of the day, I got to stand before God, okay? And to be honest with you, when you look at life as true reality, God's not going to care much whether I gold mined or if I fixed bicycles, but he does care about how I did it. He cares about how we treat each other and how we treat our relationships. And so, like, for mining, it's not so much how much gold we get or if Hunter takes over for me or not. I could care less. But the manner in which we do it, I do care about. So I've always tried to choose people over gold. I've tried to. And that is always a struggle, because you do have to pay bills. You do owe money to people, and you have promises, and you have, you know, you have these responsibilities. So that's the struggle, man. And that's man, if you're going to get anything out of this show, is it's like these small businesses know how I'm feeling. And if you've ever raised teenage kids and that to adulthood, you know, now they're adults. And so that's not easy. So I'm probably not going to write any books on parenting anytime soon. So
Maybe
I don't know
you
what
should.
I'm doing. Huh?
Maybe you should. You seem to have a really good grasp on it. And, you know, character is a big deal. It's a really big deal.
I feel like we have good character, even though we're losers. But when I say that, it's like we're all sinners, right? We're all kind of works in progress. So, I am a Christian, but I don't ever claim to be like the poster boy for the faith. Don't put me on a pedestal, because I'm gonna let you down. So I need I'm a work in progress. So and you're gonna see that in my parenting. Some things I do right, and that's why it's a little painful for me to watch. Like, because it's like I look back and I feel like, yeah, I did a good job. I don't have a lot of regrets. In reality TV, most reality TV people eventually go insane. Like you'll see like a history of some pretty weird insanity going on. If you don't have a strong family unit and you don't just get up every day and you look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm okay with who I am, right? That's like Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live, right? I'm okay, I'm smart enough. Like, you kind of got to have some of that, because you throw it out there and everybody on the internet is, man, Hunter's this, and man, I would have kicked him, I'd have beat him up. And like, they put their 2 cents in, but that's reality TV. I mean, that's the nature of the beast, right?
It really is. We want table flipping and hair pulling and yelling and screaming. That's what gets the ratings, right?
I guess. Yeah, it does.
Or we can watch it and wish we were out there looking for gold.
Yeah. You see my sweatshirt? This is my band sweatshirt. Sandy Mule Band. Okay?
Okay.
I am in a rock band, and we're kind of a big deal.
We'll have to check it out.
Our first album's out there on all platforms if you guys want to download it.
Right on Spotify. Put it out there and listen.
Everywhere, man.
Everywhere.
We're everywhere.
All right. Well, good. Or you get Sandy Mule out there and give it a listen.
Absolutely.
All right. So without getting you or me in trouble and giving away too much, tell me what we can expect to see from the rest of your season of Hoffman Family Gold.
Some bad parenting. Some craziness, some great equipment setups. We got there so late, there's no cut. So Andy has to pull out all the stops. Mining clinic, and then some crazy stuff happens. And we start throwing some gold. And you don't want to miss it. It literally is like a great season. Like, if you never watched, catch up season 1 and then get on this one, because it's really actually a really good season, and it's opening the door for some really big things. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So one thing I'm noticing from, you on video, I don't see any gold.
This is the richest ground that's ever been on any gold rush.
Mm-hmm.
Anything per ounce per 100 yards, never been ground on any of these dumb shows like this. When I say dumb, I don't mean dumb. They're great, but nobody's ever been in this good of gold.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see
I have one cleanup I don't want to say, but it's pretty big. Like one that's really big, like 6-digit big in 48 hours of running. So
it's amazing.
That's all I can say, or we'll get in trouble.
It's been an education for real. Catching up.
Let's do it again.
I wish you. Yes, definitely. How about like closer to the end of the season, we can like wrap it up and talk about all that.
Yeah.
And what you're gonna do with it.
You got it.
All right. You have a good one and enjoy your day.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Thank you.